Hello, and today I'll be reviewing Pokemon Journeys Episode 40 versus Zapdos, a legendary raid battle. So, the anime is finally back after its 1 week break since it had to switch time slots. But let's talk about this episode overall. So, this was an okay episode. Once again, it focuses on Goh and his character development. And with this episode, we saw him battling Zapdos. I'm glad he didn't actually catch it though, because it's probably way too soon for that. He didn't even throw a Great or Ultra Ball. He straight up just threw a Pokeball and thought he was going to catch Zapdos. I also thought he knocked down Zapdos a bit too quickly, but I'll talk more about that later in the review. So let's talk about what led to this. So Ash and Goh are making snow cones. Then the power goes out and Professor says that they've detected a strong biological energy, which means it's a rare Pokemon. So Goh realizes that it's Zapdos, and they do what any research fellows would do. They go and investigate. So they head to the port, and Goh brings his Flygon along so that he can battle it, which was a nice choice. And Ash says he'll battle it first. I don't know why though, since he already battled it while in Kalos. So afterwards, they head towards the thunderclouds, but they end up clearing up as Ash and Goh are arguing. And as Ash depressingly walks away, Goh asks the question of questions: what came first, the Pokemon or the egg? And applies that same logic of thinking and asks Ash, does Zapdos live in the thunderclouds or do they form around him? So as they're walking, they meet Koharu at the bus stop, and she says that her dad's going to be late because of the blackout in the city, and we see that the traffic in the city has gotten busy because the lights have gone out. And Ash describes it by saying it's like it's taking a deep breath. Ash is a theorist because this comes into play later on in the episode. So after that, they get a call from the professor, and he tells them that clouds have formed again near the port. So Ash and Goh get ready to go, but Goh says that they should go the other way since he's come up with an answer for his egg question, and that it's only a gut feeling. Which Koharu points out is just like Ash because Goh would usually use his analyzing skills to find an answer. And I noticed the theme of the past few episodes have been Goh finding different ways to do different things. And this time he's using his gut feeling just like Ash normally would. It kind of feels like they're slowly trying to turn Goh into a different version of Ash. Because with each passing episode, he borrows a trait or like a battling skill that Ash usually has. It's like with every episode, Goh slowly becomes the main protagonist. But that aside, afterwards they head to the power plant and to meet Zapdos, and then they randomly encounter Team Rocket, which was surprising and yet not at the same time. And they're here looking for a second base for Team Rocket. I'm not sure if they mean like a small base for them like in Alola or a second headquarters, but maybe this will come up later. So they all run to the power room where they see Zapdos, and they kind of find him similarly to how you do in the games. And it's there just taking in energy, and this is probably what Ash was referring to in a way when he mentioned it was like the city was taking deep breaths. It was basically Zapdos zapping all the energy in and out. But it's weird that Ash brought up the theory, but then Goh explains it, even though Ash came up with it. It's kind of like they're just taking everything from Ash and giving it to Goh. But we have over 1,000 episodes of Ash, so I guess it's Goh's time. So Ash and Goh along with Team Rocket decide to challenge Zapdos, and Team Rocket actually pull out a ground-type Pokemon. But Rhyhorn only has a 30% accuracy while using Horn Drill, so it just misses completely while in the game. And Stunfisk was using Water Gun, which was completely useless whether it landed or not. So after Team Rocket and Ash and Goh fail to battle it, they decide to team up in a raid battle. And we haven't had too many raid battles in the series, so I was hoping this one would be pretty cool, but it didn't really last too long. It was only around a minute. And Zapdos ends up escaping anyway and going outside. So Goh chases after it. Meanwhile, Ash has to stay and deal with Team Rocket. So then we see a battle with Goh and Zapdos. And Goh uses Flygon, battles it for a bit, and then throws a Pokeball, and then is completely shocked when Zapdos breaks out, as if Zapdos was a seed out or something. So after Goh is shocked that his catch didn't work, Ash comes in, gives him some motivation, but Raboot and Flygon still can't win, and then Raboot, who looks hurt, looks at Goh in frustration, gets up, and then they both look at each other and reassert, and then they battle it again. I wasn't expecting them to play the first opening during the battle because that's not something Pokemon usually does, but it was a nice touch to the battle because we saw Goh use Draco Meteor with Flygon and Raboot climbed up it just like when they battled the first time. And then Raboot was able to learn Blaze Kick after Goh attempts Double Kick and kicks Zapdos down. And now, I want to say this, the battle tactics were well executed and it was a nice payoff with the Blaze Kick, but Zapdos really shouldn't have fallen there. That aside though, after Zapdos' fall, Go throws a Pokeball, and thankfully it doesn't work on Zapdos because Zapdos summons Thunder and destroys the Pokeball. The Pokeball honestly should have broken, or Zapdos should have broken out regardless, but after Zapdos breaks out, it strikes Pikachu with Thunder, which basically was a full restore for it, and all the other electric Pokemon around. So after that, he wants to catch it again, but his Pokemon are too tired. But he says he had fun, and they end up going back to the lab. So at the lab, Go answers his own question from earlier in the episodes and says that Zapdos can be found in the clouds and can create them too. And I always really enjoy the research aspect of the series since Ash and Go are research fellows. Ash really only seemed like he wanted to battle Pokemon in this episode though. So this was an okay overall episode. I didn't have any high expectations like Go actually catching Zapdos, which even though it was somewhat hinted at in the opening, but I did expect a battle, and that's what we got. I think it was handled okay based on Go's development so far in the past few episodes and battles. But I do think he got the hang of it a bit too quickly, especially considering Zapdos is a legendary bird Pokemon. The last time we saw Zapdos in the anime was in X, Y, and Z when Noibat had to evolve in order to just battle it. And so I feel like it would have been more realistic if it was Go's Raboot evolving into Cinderace and learning Blaze Kick, it taking all of that to battle it and win. But no, it was just Raboot and it learned Blaze Kick, kicking back a legendary bird. The only other thing I would have liked in this episode was for Koharu to be involved, especially since she was already leaving school. But overall, this was an okay episode. Ash getting sidelined as usual, and Go getting more development. But let me know what you thought of this episode. Thanks for watching, and bye.